Well, lots of people think it's important to have a ritual on Sundays, so this would be that for me. So, there has been an official announcement. There have been some speculation for a little while now about the premiere date of Doctor Who. And it is going to be premiering, the new series. It is going to be premiering in October, which we knew. We now have a title for the first episode, which I'll get to in a minute. And we also have a date. And it is a Sunday, I believe. October 7th, I believe it is. It's whatever's the first Sunday in October. And that has apparently thrown some folks off. The perspective that I'm able to lend to this is unfortunately not going to be the most informed, because I would imagine that the decision to move Doctor Who from its traditional Saturday airing day to a Sunday airing day is probably most being driven by the ratings and viewer numbers in the UK, which obviously I don't have an inside track on that. I don't know what is standard for weekend viewing. I don't know if my experience as an American and knowing, what tends to air on weekends and how those things do, if it is at all a reflection of what goes on in the UK. I have no clue. So if you want that kind of perspective for why they might be doing it as far as the ratings go, and I make a point of not talking about the ratings. I really never kind of want to talk about the ratings because I don't care. Like, I only care insofar as if the ratings ever drop enough that it gets canceled, yeah, I'll care about that. But the specifics of it and even the trends of it, it's more of a, oh, yeah, okay. But the numbers have been dropping the last few years, and different people will point to different things. Some people will point to, oh, it's agenda-laden. Some people will go, well, the show's not very good anymore. Some people will go, well, they went a year with basically no episodes and instead we only got 2... Christmas specials in a row, and the show lost momentum, which out of those 3 that I've mentioned, I think has the most validity. But there's a cavalcade of reasons why shows lose ratings. But that end of things, I'm not going to focus too much on. What I can tell you is that for me personally, it's kind of a good thing. I mean, it's slightly annoying because it means that while new episodes are airing, normally Sunday is my Doctor Who day. And while episodes are airing, that's going to shift to Monday because I'm not going to do 2 days in a row of Doctor Who. So that is going to break up how I normally do it. But as soon as it's done airing, I'll go back to putting Doctor Who on Sunday again. So it's not a big deal. It does make my life easier insofar as if it was going to air on a Saturday and it was my intention to have it have a review up on a Sunday, there are some weekends that would have been basically just really disruptive because a little peek behind the curtain, alternating weekends, I either have my daughter, and the weekends that I don't, more often than not, I am off seeing my partner Liz. So that would mean that I am away from the means I have to watch Doctor Who, as well as the means to record a video. Now, normally when I spend a weekend with her, I'm back on Sunday night. So if it's airing on Sunday, I could watch it on Sunday and have something ready for Monday the next morning, because I can turn these videos around pretty quick. So that works for me. It means I'm not going to have to figure out any weird things or be late with reviews, which I wouldn't particularly want to do either. So for me personally, it works out well. I guess there are some folks who are up in arms, I guess for reasons of tradition, if nothing else, because Doctor Who has a very long history of airing on Saturdays, not even during exclusively the modern era. Most, from what I can find, most of classic era Doctor Who aired on Saturday. Not always. There were some exceptions here and there. And obviously the Christmas special airs whenever Christmas is, and it's not always Sunday. So, there are exceptions, but by and large, Doctor Who is thought of as a Saturday show. And it's not going to be that anymore. Now, again, this is an American perspective I'm about to put on this, but what I can tell you is that in the US at least, stuff that airs, actually not only on Saturdays, but also on Fridays, tends to be, for lack of a better term, well, it tends to be one of two things. It tends to be things aimed at an older demographic, because basically the presumption is that these are the days that people who are still, at the point of their life where they want to go out and do stuff on the weekend, they're out Friday and Saturday. So in the US at least, shows that air on Fridays and Saturdays, it's either where shows go to die. Especially on Fox for a while, it was called the Friday night death slot. And whenever a show got moved to Friday night, that was basically taken as that means it'll be canceled next year. And Saturdays are only slightly better than that. And by and large, it's a place to dump cheap, shows that are not that expensive to make and have an appeal that isn't the core demographic of the 18 to 35, which is where most advertisers usually like to get at, especially with something that they're trying to build, big franchise appeal out of. Now, again, I have no idea if that carries over to the UK or not, but if it does at all, then a move to Sunday, at the very least, I can't imagine would be a big detriment, would be a big hit. Potentially, it would be a boost because, while you have your weekend doing stuff, you don't go out on Sunday night because you've got work or school or university or what have you the following day. So, doing something on a Sunday night, that's when you wind down and you go, oh, well, look at that. I'll watch Doctor Who and I can talk to my work friends about it on Monday or, what have you. Now, that's theoretical. That's not an automatic, this will get us better ratings. But I'm kind of the opinion it can't hurt, because I don't, as much as I know people get hung up on the tradition of things, it's always been, it should stay that because that's what we've always had. I do understand that. I understand there's a nostalgia and there's a tradition involved in that. But I mean, can we be completely honest? Is there anybody who's going to stop watching the show because it's airing on a Sunday instead of a Saturday? Like, for that reason specifically. Because that strikes me as really weird. I have a really hard time wrapping my head around the idea that moving a show from one day to the next, someone who likes the show suddenly goes, well, I'm not gonna watch that. And that makes no sense to me. So, again, I can't imagine it'll hurt. So, moving on from that, we also have the title of the first episode, which is going to be The Woman Who Fell to Earth, which is a cool title, and I like it. Given where things left off with Jodie Whittaker's first appearance in Twice Upon a Time, it's very literal. When last we saw her, she was falling to Earth out of the TARDIS. So, yeah, there's that. But there's also the illusion of the name, because The Man Who Fell to Earth is a David Bowie film where he was an alien, and that's kind of a cool thing to be alluding to, and I like that connection that the title makes. So I don't have too many other thoughts about that title other than yeah, okay. I suspect there are some people who are going to be annoyed by it because it's putting the fact that the Doctor is now a woman in the title, so they're shoving it more in our face. Look at her. The Doctor is now a woman. I don't know how that's shoving it in your face more, but I wouldn't be surprised if some people are kind of pulling that reaction to it, which, I mean, I have my own concerns, and I've expressed some of them already in other videos about potentially, the writing overemphasizing the gender shift, which I would like, honestly, to get almost no notice whatsoever. I would like basically nobody to dwell on this. But that's me, and if it does get overly dwelled on, that'll be a drag. But I'm not going to take the title as an indicator that that is what is going to happen, because I can point to what it's alluding to, and it's alluding to a cool sci-fi movie starring a really awesome person. I'm okay with that. So I think that's about it. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there now that we have an air date, now that we have a title, and get people's thoughts on it. Do you read a lot into its move from Saturday to Sunday? Because, I mean, I don't doubt it's a move to attempt to help the ratings. But, again, I don't focus a lot on the ratings. I never have, I never will. So, you know, that's not something that that I'm all that concerned with. But as far as that goes, what are your thoughts? The title, what are your thoughts? Whatever they are, drop them down in the comments. Let's talk about them. There's a whole bunch of stuff to do because there's buttons and there's links. You can subscribe and support me on Patreon and do a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Check them out if you care. And remember, folks, you are the council. I just run the meetings. And until next time, this council is adjourned.